Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial on this look right here. This is like a gunmetal, cool toned, smoky cat eye. I'm trying to figure out how to title this video. At this point, we've had every single title. I don't even know what to call videos anymore. I might just start giving them random titles, asking you random questions. What the fuck is up? Watch this video or else. Those are gonna be my new titles, so I don't know what else to call this anymore. I do know that I like the way this makeup look turned out, so let's go ahead and get right into the tutorial. All right, so first we're gonna go into this palette from MILANI. This is so good. This is a drugstore brand, MILANI, soft and sultry. Look how pretty these tones are. They're all very cool toned and taupey. I just really love them. It's very comparable to this Bobbi brown palette over here. This one's a little bit more purpley, but has a lot of similar shades. We're gonna use this palette mostly, and I may dip into some other shit. I don't know. First, I'm gonna be dipping into this shade right over here, Tantation. The shape of the eye, I want to be very winged out. I'm gonna start putting that here and cut across my eyeball. Picking up a Real Techniques shading brush. We're gonna go into this charcoal color right over here, and I'm gonna focus this just at the outer corner of the eye and start kind of packing it on. Building up the color first along the lash line on this outer portion. And then also bringing it down inwards along the lash line at an angle. Boom. Now I'm gonna be picking up this Morphe M507. First, before I pick up any color, I'm going to follow my lower lash line, look straight forward, and try to blend this upwards a little bit. Now I'm putting a little shadow on this brush, and I'm gonna start winging it outwards, pulling little by little out towards the tail of the brow. This process for me is a little bit more tedious just because of the shape of my eye. It's harder for me to get that like precise fade out. It's just not my strength, and I'm okay with that. I've accepted winging out my eyeshadow is like a little bit more difficult for me. I don't know why that is. Always when you're doing this, look at the camera and then look straight ahead, and it should be lifting your eye up. So I feel like I went a little low, so all you have to do is take a makeup wipe and kind of graze the edge to the perfect angle that you need. See, that instantly lifted my eye. So makeup wipe with this technique really comes through for you. I'm taking a clean blending brush now, and I'm just gonna go over the top and start to blend this out, and make sure you're pointing your brush downwards instead of up like this. Get it nice and smooth. You want it to look smoky. Once you blend, you always want to like pick shadow back up and pack it back on anywhere it might have gotten a little not as opaque as you want it. Got the general shape down. That's the hardest part of this eye look for me and what I got going on. So now I'm going back into this little Morphe brush. I'm gonna take the shadow slightly into the crease. I don't want my eye to be too round. I'm trying to make my eye look more cat eye. So if you make this part more round, it might make it a little less cat eye, although it would be fine, but it's just not really the look I'm going for today. So now we're gonna take mostly this shade right here. It's this beautiful metallic gunmetal with a nice brown undertone. We're gonna go with that. I'm gonna take a flat shader brush, and I'm picking that color up, and we're just gonna start packing it, and I'm just going along the charcoal shadow we put down. And so I laid down the matte color at a diagonal, so I'm also patting this at a diagonal. This is one of my favorite brushes, the Smashbox Contour Shader, but it's just a skinny little blending brush, and I'm gonna graze that along the edges of the shadows we just placed down, just to diffuse them out nice so there's no like harsh bluntness going on. I'm gonna be going into the Bobbi Brown Deluxe Eye and Cheek palette, and this shade right here is so pretty. It's like this taupey, metallic, pink, purple reflect. I'm gonna pick that up on my finger. You can see the color there. And I'm just going to press it into the highest point of my eyeball. I really like the like purpley reflex in this with the charcoal colors. I feel like it looks really pretty. More so in a direct light than in the studio lighting that washes away all the reflex ever. Trust when I say it's very pretty and reflective. Now what we're gonna do is pick up some of the matte black in the palette, the MILANI palette, And I'm just taking that on an angled brush, and we're going to apply that on the outer corner here, almost in the shape as if you were applying a wing, but we're just gonna do that with a little shadow. As you take the black shadow closer to the inner corner, you're gonna thin it out. Just cleaning up all the fallout from the black shadow. Going into foundation, I'm using the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Wear Foundation. This is in the shade Suntan. I think this is the color I used last time. I have a couple here. I'm gonna just pat this on with my fingers first. Take my beauty blender, and we're just gonna go ahead and start working that in. What should we talk about? I usually like to talk about things. Anyways, guys, so I have been getting more and more furniture in my house. Like, I really cannot wait until it is mostly furnished. At least the main stuff, you know, like my living room and my bedroom. I just got a new bed. I can't wait to show you guys everything once it's done. I've been floating in my home for months now. Like, I never know where to sit. Now we actually have chairs, a kitchen table. I'm so excited for the holidays. I cannot wait, like, you have no idea. I would not have been able to furnish anything myself. I am like one of those people that I'll go to Home Goods, I'll spend hours there, I'll look around, and I'll put things in my cart, and then in the end I'll really overanalyze everything, like, oh, do I really need that? Do I really want that? Is that gonna go? What if I hate it? And then I put everything back and I leave. Even in my old place, I never finished. I did my bedroom and then I gave up. And you guys saw my picture frames at my last bed place. I mean, the minute I finally got picture frames in there, pictures in the picture frames, and then I moved. What are you guys up to? Who's in school here? Who's starting school? It gives me like, just thinking about it. I mean, what is school like nowadays with social media? Tell me, I need to know. How does anybody pay attention? I would never be able to. I'd be scrolling my life away in class. I was a bad student then and I didn't have anything to look at. My family just sold our family home, which is like really sad. It's kind of bittersweet. We went over there and I was going through a lot of my old stuff and I found this notebook. And me and my friends used to pass around a notebook between every period. In class, we would write notes to each other and we would decorate the page, and that's what I did during class. There was no Instagram or like social media. I think like towards the end of my high school career, if you will, MySpace came about and everybody was shook. We still couldn't do it on our phones. We were going to the computer lab. Can you imagine going to the computer lab to hit up social media? Dial-up? Don't even get me started. Do y'all even know about dial-up? You guys would die if you had to wait for dial-up. People would just explode. Another thing, my aunt that you guys all love, la tía, ya vive conmigo. She's living with me now. I just need to have her by me at all times, you know? Need to make sure she's doing okay. She is the sweetest little thing ever. She's such a diva when she lives with me, now that she's living with me. She'll come downstairs and be like, I need a manicure. And I'm like, okay. She'll be like, oh, I need new shoes. She goes into my closet, comes out wearing my t-shirts, and she's like, do you like it? And I'm like, yeah, it's mine. I like it. We must protect her at all costs. Let me tell you why. Her parents died when she was really young, so she was pretty much an orphan. And she never got married and she didn't have kids, so I am like her grandchild in a sense, even though she's my great aunt. She's kind of like my grandma to me, so you know, we gotta look out for each other. I'm gonna take a black liner and I'm gonna apply this on the waterline and on the outer lash line, and we'll see how it goes. I might take it all the way, I might not. I want it to be extra sultry, smoky, hoey. I decided to take it all the way. Since I'm here, I'm just gonna hit the top of my eye, and then before it dries down, I'm gonna take an LC Cosmetics pencil brush and I am going to feather out these edges here and kind of just smoke it out as much as I can. This liner really dries down really quickly, which is good because you want your liner to stay in your waterline and stuff like that, but it just means you have to make sure you're working fast. And so the reason I'm not doing concealer here first, because I almost find it now pointless to overwhelm my under eye with more product when I don't need to if I'm gonna be smoking out my lower lash line so much. it just starts to look nicer and less cakey under there. Now I'm going back into the MILANI palette, and I'm gonna take that charcoal metallic shade that we used earlier, and I'm gonna apply it just on the lower lash line, just so it gets a little more gunmetal-y down here as well. It's not so stark black. Kind of all ties into the top once you do that. So now dipping into this brown shade, I'm gonna take that and just lightly graze along the black on the outer corner here, just to soften the edges, but keeping most of it dark. Also, when I went to my home, I found pictures of the Halloween that I started doing Halloween makeup, and it was so crazy because back then I was still serving and I hated my job, and to think about that photo back then and looking at it and not knowing what my future was gonna be like is so surreal. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm dipping into black eyeshadow and just setting the black on the outer corner here. So it was just so crazy to see that. Like I was just sitting there one night doing that for fun and then for Steven, and then here we are doing YouTube videos. Now what's good about not doing the concealer is that you can kind of clean up any messes underneath. If you took it a little too far, you can take a makeup wipe and fix it up, or if it's any fallout, you can fix it. Now let's move into concealer. What concealer shall I use? I'm gonna be using the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer by MERCIER now, and I'm gonna apply that here. This is a little bit of a brighter color for me. This is 3W, but it's nice because their smoky eye is so charcoaly that I wanna make sure my eyes don't look tired underneath. I want them to look nice and bright. And blending it out. Then once you get a nice light wash, go back into where you feel like you need more, like right here and on the side of the nose, and blend that out. To set the under eyes, I'll be using the Too Faced Peach Perfect Translucent Powder. Pretty good. For lashes, I'm gonna be using Jenny 69's lashes here. These are in the style Baddie. I've worn these a couple times already, so I'm just gonna kind of pick the old glue off here and pop them on. It's always so much easier to apply lashes once you've already worn them a couple times. When I have to open a new pair, I'm like, ugh. I know it could go wrong for me. And then make sure you cover the lash band with a little black liner and then prop them up again. I'm just gonna put a little mascara in the inner corner here and a little on the lower lashes. This is my MAC Extended Play Mascara. I decided I'm gonna go into this shimmery shade from the MILANI palette and just hit this inner corner right here, brighten that up a little bit. Feeling like I need a little warmth in my skin. Going into my favorite bronzer at the moment, aka foundation that I use as bronzer. It's the IMAN Earth 1. And I'm gonna use a Smashbox angled blush for this. And I'm not contouring so much because my eyes are kind of like the star of the show right now. So I just want to add a lot of warmth to my skin and make myself look at like all over a little more tan than I am right now. Work that into the hairline. Just right here, across the nose a little bit. For blush, this Bobbi Brown palette actually has blushers on one side, so the shadow and then the blush. Loving these tones. I think I'm gonna take a mixture of these two, more mauve and a little bit more pink, and I'm gonna apply this to the apples of the cheeks. I don't wanna look too 80s, so I'm not gonna like bring it over here too much. Just more on like the apples. Across the nose a little bit. And then again with my highlight, I also want it to be pretty toned down. I'm just gonna use a little bit of Fuego highlight here, dose of colors, and I'm gonna apply that straight down the nose, just right here on the bridge, right here on the tip of the nose. Blend it out with your finger. Just a small amount. Diffuse it, blend it out. A little on the chin, a little on the forehead. I'm gonna be picking up the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Totally Taupe. I really love these pencils. They're so good. And I'm just gonna shade the outer part of the lips. This looks nice. This is the Right Note lipstick by MAC. But let's try it. I just pat it in the center. What I learned with new lipsticks is you line your lips with a pencil and you pat them in the center. That's how you can make any nude color work for you. I'm gonna go back in with more of like a mauve shade. This is Up and Down Tan by Makeup Forever as well. And I'm gonna use that to kind of blend the dark lip liner with the nude. So I kind of made it so that it had that cool toned, almost similar to the first shadow we put down into the crease, brought that shade into the lips so that it all kind of ties together. It's a little icy. Ooh. Lastly, I'm just gonna put a little gloss in the center. I don't want too much of a colorful gloss. This is just the Plenty of Pout Plumping Lip Gloss by MAC. Want some of this to accentuate the center of the lips. And that is it. This is the finished look. What do you guys think? It's icy. It's kind of giving me prom vibes, even though it's like nowhere near prom. You guys are just, I miss that bus, but I really, really like how it turned out. I've really been into those like icy, charcoaly, smoky eyes recently, which is crazy for me to say because you know I'm usually like warm tones, bronze, yay. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And again, notification bell, don't forget to click that so you get notified every time I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Honestly, this eye is so much easier to wing out than the other eye. It's like, it's blending itself. I don't even need to be here. Where's my brush? Who took my brush? You guys have that? You have one eye that like, you don't know what you did to deserve that side of the eye or that brow, and then the other one is like, it just hates you, wants to end your life. Let's be real, when do I ever face this way anyways? In life, in photos, in video, never. Gets no airtime, so why do I even bother? My beauty blender just fell on the floor! I'll just wear my hair like this if my eye doesn't come out right. Bad brow that day, no worries, you just... Who told you you could sneeze?